Yo guys, what is going on? Blossom's back, and welcome back to another episode of Top Drives. Better late than ever! We've got the Gaz Collection Pack Review. Now, I understand that when it comes to the challenge, I think a lot of us have already finished it, and I get that. And it seems like it's relatively simple, actually. I mean, I don't really have the most comprehensive collection over here, but it might be enough to get us through, because I have a couple of epics lying around. We've got some off-roaders, got some dragsters, got some twisty cars. It might just be enough, I don't know. I've not touched Gaz Collection. I'll be honest, I've only done 1, 2, 3. That's it. I've not touched anything else. But there are a couple quirky things about Gaz Collection that I do want to highlight. The first thing is that, you know, I really don't know if Hutch, like, doesn't care anymore, or, like, they're just going balls to the wall of trying something new. Because when you look at the divide over here for the ultra rares, it's pretty crazy, not gonna lie. So you've got like a massive collection of RQ50s, right? So 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, all unique cars, right? From the GMC to the Alpha to the Acura, right? And then next thing you know, it's not like I'm missing anything, guys. It just jumps from RQ51 to 60. Again, I know I'm late to this. I'm sure you guys have already figured this out. I'm sure you guys have already realized this as well. But like I said, we're gonna review the pack today. You might have finished the challenge, but I kind of want to review the pack in a sense of like whether the pack is just worth opening in a general sense. Like, you might not be able to finish a challenge, you might have finished a challenge, but you know, you got some gold lying around and you want to open some packs. Is this the pack to open? Is this a sleeper pack? Are the legendaries in here good enough to carry the entirety of Gaz Collection? Well, that's actually what I want to answer today. So let's get into the tier list. Guys, you know how it works by now, right? So we've got 38 cars. And yes, the jump is real. It jumps from 51 to 60. It's crazy. I know. Only 4 legendaries that you can get. And this is like the first special tag challenge in quite some time where they allow you to use prize cards. There are 10 prize cards that you can use here, which is going to make my life a lot easier, considering that one of those prize cards is the incredibly, well, not overpowered, but, you know, I guess in the world of Gaz Collection, it will be considered relatively overpowered, the Peugeot 905B. That being said, I am changing out my tier list just a little bit. We've got Der Kaiser, Frequent Provider, so those two stay the same, but we got a new one. We've got Challenge Car, and then we've got Robin's Wonders Roll of plus and minus 3 RQ. Usually when it comes to a tier list video, there are 5 different tiers. I'm gonna narrow it down to 4. The thing about, you know, Top Drives and how the game is, I don't know if evolving is the right word, but like how the game is changing, especially how the meta is changing, is that, and I guess I mean this in a good way, less and less cars feel completely useless. Or there are 2 ways to think about it. The optimistic, the glass half full, will say less and less cars feel useless. Or the glass half empty is that the new way to say useless is just call it a challenge car. A car that you use for a challenge and then never again for like the next couple of months, right? Or maybe even a year, or maybe even 2 years. You never really know. It really comes down to whether a car gets a special tag or not. But anyway, these are the 4 ranks that we're going to go through. Not many cars are going to fall under Robin's Wonders Roll and plus and minus 3 RQ. That's reserved for like the worst of the worst. So starting this off is the Suzuki Swift Sport Cup challenge car. Now, honestly, like I said, there are 2 ways to look at challenge car. You can think of it as a good thing, you can think of it as a bad thing. You know, challenges are everywhere in Top Drives now. And I don't just mean special tag challenge. I know that there used to be a rank called special tag challenge, but now there's just a little bit of everything. Summer games of 600 levels. You've got Gaz Collection of like at least like maybe 200, feels like 200 levels, maybe 250 levels. And then you've got you know, weird other redemption challenges that just come from time to time. Like you can't even make it up. Sometimes they'll just be like, okay, we have mushrooms that you want to collect, and in order to collect these mushrooms, you got to play the challenge. And you know, within these challenges, these are the small amount of cars you can use, and the Suzuki Swift Cup kind of falls under that category. It's not a car that I would use very often. You know, there are better front-wheel drive off-roaders out there. There are better off-road tire cars out there as well. But the Suzuki Swift Sport Cup, I don't think it's a bad car. I just think it's a challenge car. You gotta use it in a challenge, and it will pay off. It has paid off for Gaz Collection. Well, actually, no, it hasn't really paid off for Gaz Collection, has it? I've not really used much of it. But I guess in the first 3 levels of Gaz Collection, I have used the Suzuki Swift Sport Cup car a couple of times. It's 89 handling off-road tires, It's not terrible, you know? Like, I don't think it deserves to be a super rare, so I'm not going to put it in a lower rank. Lancia Delta Integrale, same thing. It's a challenge car. What do you want me to say? It's 4-wheel drive, medium ground clearance, 90 handling. It has competent handling. It's a challenge car. The Alpha GTV Cup, I'm going to put that in frequent provider. It's a great RQ saver, and I will use it in clubs as well. Now, when I used to make these kind of videos, these kind of pack review videos, there's always an X amount of people that will say, oh, Blossom, you're only saying that this car is good because you play a lot of clubs. You're only saying that this car is good because it gets used a lot in clubs, blah, 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 blah. I get that. Well, guess what? If you haven't realized recently, for the last like 3 months, I've barely touched clubs because most of the time I'm spending most of my energy playing this game in a challenge, surprise, surprise, or an endurance event, you know, or anything like that, right? So I barely played clubs recently. So a lot of my, you know, quote unquote club cars, I've not used in a very long time. So I'm starting to see the game from a different perspective. I'm starting to look at the game through, you know, what it feels like to not play clubs. There are some cars, for example, the Acura RSX, I have not touched within those 3 months, but I guarantee you if I jump back into clubs, I'll be using this car every other day. And I'll be honest, even though I've had this new perspective of barely playing clubs, I'm still going to rank things like the Acura RSX very highly. Because the reality is, it's not, you know, it's a personal problem that we are not playing clubs, that you are not playing it, or that I am not playing it. The option is always there. You can always join clubs. The requirements are always going to be there. It's never going to change. Hutch has not changed clubs since they introduced it in like 2018. And, you know, it's going to stay that way forever. So you get in there, you get the right cars, you get the payout. As long as you have the booster, you are going to make cash. So for you or for anyone to say that, oh, I'm biased towards a car because it's good in clubs, well, the reality is, you know, I'm not going to rank it any lower because clubs isn't going to change. You can use that car right now in clubs and it will make you money. It is useful. It is useful. And you're going to use it a lot more than things like, I don't know, a car that they're going to force you to use for a challenge. For example, the Ford Sierra RS500. This car has been a car that I've wanted to love for so long because I like the car in real life, right? And there were times where I actually called this car decent because it fit like a very rare niche of 1980s cars. It was medium ground clearance, but it didn't have 4-wheel drive. The handling was okay. It went up to 92 when you fully upgraded it, and I really wanted to have this car sing. But unfortunately, it never sung. And, you know, I'm going to put it in challenge car category. It gets the challenges tags very often. Like, it's a car that I definitely do not forget. And considering that this is an OG car that has been in the game since 2017, I will say that, you know, I have used this car, I would say maybe like 3 times a year, every single year that I've played the game, you know, like not 3 times, but like over 3 separate unique events in a year. So the Sierra, it does come back in terms of usage, but you know, when it does come back in terms of usage, it usually is like in like 2 or 3 levels in like chapter 6 of a special tag challenge. That's about it. It's a challenge car, definitely. The Cobalt SS, this one, honestly, frequent provider. Now, the reason for that is because there are not a lot of American front-wheel drive cars that have performance tires, that are also medium ground clearance, but also handle well. There are not many cars that fit that category, and I'm going to put that in frequent provider because it is more often than not a club car. But like I said, I have had an experience of playing the game where I play clubs every day, and now I'm in a situation where I barely play clubs at all. That being said, I still think that clubs is a very, very useful avenue for any kind of player when it comes to top drives. So if you are a useful car in that category, in my opinion, you're a frequent provider. GMC Yukon, that's coming up next. This is Robin's Wonders Wallet plus the Master RQ. Without a doubt. There are Escalades out there with lower 0 to 60s, right? And they're around the RQ range of the GMC Yukon. There's really any situation where the Yukon is useful. I could see this as a 49. I feel like it'd be a little bit easier. It'd be cheaper to upgrade as well. That is a plus and minus 3 RQ. Next up, the Jaguar. Again, this one, I'm actually going to put it in Robin's Wonders World. I might change that later, but I'm going to put it there for now. All right, BMW 330D Touring. This car recently got a massive nerf, right? It used to be standard tires, then it became performance tires with no change in terms of stats. The BMW actually, you know, races. So as an RQ51, as you can see, I'm comparing it up against, you know, some other medium ground clearance performance tire cars, like the Mini John Cooper Works and the Bentley Azure. Some of these are 4-wheel drive, some of these are rear-wheel drive, blah, blah, blah. As you can see, the BMW 330D, it isn't winning much. It's losing, even. It's losing to, you know, the Mini John Cooper Works, for example. right? Which is RQ50, for example. All over the twisties, all over the drags, and even in the City Street Small and the City Street Medium, the 330D, cutting it. It's not cutting it. What can I say? So, unfortunately, I'm going to put the BMW 330D Touring in Robin's Wonders World of plus minus 3 RQ. Next one, we have the Nissan. Man. I mean, it's a challenge car. Definitely. Most of these cars are challenge cars. The Holden HSV is another one that I do want to look at. So, I've got the times with the Holden HSV Senator over here as well. And as you can see, against, RQ60 and 59 medium ground clearance cars that are not even four-wheel drive. These are front-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive cars only that I filtered it by. Doesn't win anything. Like 0 to 120 in hill climb, congratulations. Everything else doesn't win. Loses to the Magan on the city streets. It loses some drags, right, as you can see, to the Dodge Magnum as well as the Chrysler 300C. And in the twisty scenarios, it loses to the Magan once again. Second place goes to the Ford Focus ST. No place for the Holden unless it's an Australian event. But that being said, there are better Australian cars to use as well. So unfortunately, the Holden HSV, I'm actually going to put it in Robin's Wonders World. I feel like I could see that as an RQ57 or maybe in a 58. Might be a little bit better over there. I think 60 is way too far up its depth. The BMW, oh my goodness, this one's up next. Used to be an Epic. It came down to an Ultra. It's a challenge car. Definitely a challenge car. Audi A3, I'm going to say a challenge car as well. One of the better ones. Like, I guess maybe next time I do a series like this, I could do like challenge car and like challenge car plus or like better challenge car or whatever like that. I'm going to put it in order though of how I see things. So like if you are at the top of challenge car, you are slightly better. If you're at the bottom of challenge car, you're slightly worse. I'm going to change the position of the BMW and the Nissan. Next up with the Volvo plug-in hybrid. I'm going to put that in frequent provider for any kind of Swedish standard event, any kind of Volvo event. We've seen a little bit more of those recently. This is an okay car, four-wheel drive center tires, 73 handling, and a lower 0 to 60 compared to that Audi. And also, the Audi is a dime a dozen. The Volvo's a little bit more niche, right? Especially when it comes to those Swedish wet events, you can use the Volvo a little bit more. This Audi, unfortunately, is a dime a dozen. It truly is, There are other four-wheel drive center tire Audis out there that are just better to use. Next up is the Volvo, what is it, V50 T5 all-wheel drive. Again, it's four-wheel drive, it's standard. It's gonna be up there, I would say, with the V60. Both of these two are relatively frequent providers. The Volvo EX30, I want to put that in Dirk Heiser, honestly. One of the best rear-wheel drive center tire cars in the game. That alongside like the 7 Series BMW. Fantastic additions. Moving on is the BMW X1 X-Drive. Now, if you want to count recency bias, then it's like Dirk Heiser, because it's one of the best all-surface tire German powerhouse cars in the game right now. That being said, there will be a part 2. There might be better cars in part 2 as well. And honestly, if you want to take away recency bias, and I feel like it's fair to take away recency bias because most of the German powerhouse challenges have ended by now. If I was recording this video during the time of like the German powerhouse challenges for the off-road sector, this would be one of the best cars you could have used. This and the red one and the Ajax as well. That being said, I guess, you know what, rose tinted glasses off. German powerhouse at this point is like a month old, maybe older than that. So I'm going to put it down to frickin' provider. I still think it's a pretty decent all-surface tire car. But that's about it. I'm going to put it in between the RSX and the Alfa Romeo GTV. Caterham 7310R. I'm going to put this bad boy in frequent provider as well. The problem that I'm not putting it in Dirk Heiser is that it loses to the Ariel Atom on the slalom, and in all other twisty scenarios, you're most likely, going to place your bets on the Zenith instead, which is still an ultra rare. So because of that, this is going to stay frequent provider. Now we move on to the epics. The Porsche 911 Carrera. Oh man, I mean, I really want to like the car, but I genuinely think that it will only sing if it was an ultra rare. I could see it as a fantastic RQ64. I don't think anybody in their right mind is going to max it out as a 65. Even though 86 handling is the stock handling for this car, you got to remember that maxed out it's only 95. And honestly, I feel like when you're an epic with 95 handling, you're not a dragster, you're falling behind. Honestly, you are falling behind. There are a lot of epics nowadays. So many epics that are RQ65 that can get 98 handling, 99 handling. There's 65 epics out there that can get 97 handling, like the Civic Type R, and it has an added bonus of medium ground clearance. Think about the 911 Carrera 997 is that it's a little bit of an all-rounder, and you're just never going to use it in many scenarios. Yeah, you could say that that's a pretty weak challenge car, but even then, there are better options to use. So unfortunately, Robin's Wonders will plus minus 3 RQ. Next up is the Peugeot 508 Southwest, also known as Station Wagon. I'm going to put that in challenge car. It's like the epic version of the Lancia Delta, but worse because it's more expensive to upgrade, but it handles okay. 4-wheel drive, medium ground clearance. That's about it. Honestly, I think that having these two cars side by side highlights how decent of an RQ saver that Lancia Delta could be, because although these two have 15 RQ in difference, they carry the same traits, which is 4-wheel drive and medium, but the Lancia only has one less handling, which is pretty impressive. I get it that the Peugeot has both ABS and traction control, the Lancia doesn't, but that being said, 15 RQ, what do you expect, right? Holden Commodore, this is up next. I mean, AC4 handling, it's relatively lightweight. I'm gonna put it in challenge car. It would be a very good ultra rare in my opinion, but I'll put it in challenge car for now. I don't think it deserves to go down. Like, I don't think it needs to go down as much as like a Porsche 911 Carrera does. The Alfa Romeo 4C, that's up next. Again, I feel like it would be so good as an ultra rare, but as an epic, I feel like it's just not really cutting it anymore. Imagine if the other 4C and the 8C that are currently RQ64s, I believe, went down to 63, and this 4C went down to 64. That would shake up the ultra meta a little bit, I would say. It would be really interesting though to have this car as an ultra rare. It is a very good looking car. The stats, I mean, it's 94 handling, what, 3.8, 3.7, 3.7, 90, 94. That honestly sounds like RQ64 stats now. Alright, Subaru Impreza. This thing is terrible. I'm going to put it here. And Robin's wonderful plus or minus 3 RQ. Same thing for the Ram. I mean, aside from the hill climb, the thing is a piece of shit. Bentley Flying Spur V8S. That's up next. Definitely overrated, because it's seen as like a dragster medium ground clearance, kind of like along the lines of like the Mercedes S63 and S65 that have no reason to be epic. I'm going to put the Bentley in the same place. The Volkswagen Golf GTI TCR, I think, is a frequent provider. They are better front-wheel drive. Ooh, there are better front-wheel drive cars. There are a lot of better. I'm gonna put it in challenge car. Yeah, there you go. I think there are better front-wheel drive cars. That being said, we did have that Volkswagen event that ended literally today, where the Volkswagen Golf GTI TCR was actually pretty decent. So, like, if it is a Volkswagen event, then TCR would be good. As long as it's not like a drag or anything like that, it would be pretty decent. That being said, it's not that frequent, right? We don't get Volkswagen challenges that often, do we? And thank God for that. I'm gonna put it in challenge car, just because there's so many prize cars out there that people have already won, that you can just redeem at any time. I mean, even the Civic Tourer, right? So yeah, I'm gonna put that in challenge car. The Lamborghini Diablo VT Roadster, again, challenge car, dude. BMW M5, I think it's still a pretty decent epic, not gonna lie. Like, it definitely deserved to go up, right? The MRA is ridiculous. 0 to 60 is okay. Top speed is what really halts the progression of this car, in terms of whether I want to put in a higher rank or not. Top speed is low. It ain't no test bowl winner. It's honestly surprisingly good on the 1 mile though, because the MRI is just that good, and I guess 155 top speed is just enough, unless it's going up against like a Bristol or something like that. This is a very, very strong car to have. So Bristol Fighter to be, specific. But yeah, the BMW M5, it's still good. It's still a good car for sure. I don't know why we have this ultra rare sitting over here. So I guess I forgot that it was here. Challenge car. I'm gonna put it somewhere between the Ford Sierra and the Integrale. All right, Nissan X-Trail. This is gonna be a challenge car as well. Ain't gonna lie, that's a challenge car, definitely. I mean, the TCR is a good challenge car, so we'll put it up here. And then I think the Diablo is okay. I'm gonna put it like maybe around this range. The X-Trail, dude, I own 3 of these. Never used it once, never needed it once. It's kind of bad, not gonna lie. Challenger 1320, ooh, tough one. I'm gonna put it in frequent provider. It's not their cars, there are better options. You want to use a super stock if you can. That being said, if you want to save a little bit of RQ, this is a pretty decent car to have. Definitely better than the M5. I'm gonna put the Challenger maybe up here with the Caterham. I'm gonna put the BMW M5 maybe between the RSX and the Cobalt. Yeah, if we want to do it in order, that's probably where I would do it. I'll bring the Cobalt down as well. Yeah, I would do that. Okay, Cadillac CT6V. Again, just like the Ford Sierra that you see here, I want this car to sing, but I don't have many opportunities where I've seen this car really sing, honestly. 92 handling maxed out. I mean, it's the same handling as the Sierra, right? It's 4-wheel drive, it's medium ground clearance, low 0 to 60 as well, but the top speed does bring it down. I'm going to put it in challenge car, but right behind the Volkswagen Golf GTI TCR, so like one of the better ones. Moving on is the Lotus Exige Cup 430. I'm going to put that in Der Kaiser. I think this car is fantastic. It feels like it has the stats of a slick tire motorsport epic, but it has performance tires, so that's pretty cool. The Ioniq is also pretty decent, not as good as the gray and the black Hyundais, unfortunately, so I'm going to put it in between the Challenger and the Alpha GTV. The 959 is terrible. That's Robin's Wonders World through and through. This thing deserves to be an epic and not even a 79. It performs like an RQ 76, honestly. It's god awful. The Roof Turbo R. This is a car that I don't have a lot of experience with. I've never unpacked it before, and I never see anybody use it. You know, at most, I'm gonna put it in challenge car, but I feel like there's a debate up here for the Roof Turbo R to actually be in Robin's Wondrous World plus and minus 3 RQ. You guys let me know if you own this car. Let me know how bad or how useless it might be for you. But for now, I don't have much experience with the car, and I can only give my personal experiences when it comes to these kind of videos, so I'm going to put it in challenge car. Next up, with the Taycan and the 935, both cars which are easily going to be in the highest tier. I believe that the Taycan is the best car that you can unpack from this entire pack, followed by the 935, followed by the Exige, and then followed by the EX30 with everything that comes below. But anyway, guys, this is going to be it. This is my ranking of Gaz Collection 2. It's pretty terrible, not gonna lie. It is pretty terrible. But then again, you know, this is a challenge where you can use prize cars. So you don't really need these cars if you've played the game long enough. If you got those prize cars, go crazy. Anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for today. I hope you guys have a great day. Stay safe, wash your hands, and blossom out. Peace.
Bro, this song just makes me so happy.
Me too.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Sit back, relax in my Bonneville Pontiac. Hold tight all night, cruise to Jacksonville
Atlantic.
Blonde hair, don't care, look like Leslie